Hello, folks. This is Jeff Davis with the legendary Jeff Davis Show from Central Texas, USA. And I love Mike Hanson Archives. Peace out, baby.
All right, sorry to interrupt here. Stay tuned right here on these channels for more classics from Mike Hanson Archives. But I just want to take a moment to ask for your help to fund these channels. We are asking a $25 donation to buy my book. I wrote this book about Bohemian Grove, about when Alex Jones and I snuck into the Bohemian Grove Club, and it tells all about it. Tex Mars forwarded it. He just recently passed away, so it's becoming a real collector's item. Alex has his own chapter in this book, and it's very good, full of pictures and all sorts of things. You know, George W. Bush and his father was a member of the Bohemian Club, and Junior still is. But it's a really good, thick book, and we'd appreciate a $25 donation sent to. I will definitely sign it and send it right back to you. If you want to call us at 830-672-3089, that's my office. Just leave your name and phone number, and the secretary will call you back. And you can pay with a credit card. And if you want to write us, our address is 901 St. Joseph Street, Gonzales, Texas, 78629. Once again, send that $25 for this book right here, Bohemian Grove, Cult of Conspiracy. I wrote that book, forwarded it by Tex Mars. Alex Jones has a chapter in it, and a lot of other people. So we appreciate. Stay tuned to these local YouTube channels and Facebook and Instagram, and I'm on Twitter now too. So stay tuned for Mike Hanson Archives and all the classics. Most of these tapes are 25 years old or a little bit younger. Alrighty, thanks a lot and God bless. Please support us when you can, where you can. Here's the address one more time and the phone number, and we'll get right back to your viewing of these classics. Be sure to go to Mike Hanson Archives, Hanson Archives, and our new one, Waco Archives. Thanks a lot and God bless.
Come on, folks.
All right.
We're back.
Get in on closer.
We've been joined by several folks down here. Alex Jones. We have a Ute Indian down here. We're bringing Shelly Williams is coming on board with us here later. And right now, though, we're going to have a little bit more fun, John. We talked about how you had about $3 million worth of private property stolen from you.
That's correct.
But there's some other elements in your life that the folks need to maybe be witness to. Is that correct?
That's true. I was a lifelong friend of John Wayne, the late and great Duke. I never have capitalized on our friendship. Maybe that's why we stayed friends over 30 years.
You want to go ahead and present me that?
Yes, I have John gave me a speaking part in the movie The Alamo, and out of 5,000 of us in the movie, I think there's only 2 or 3 of us, or 4 or 5 of us left alive that had speaking parts. This is first. I'd like to show this.
We can get some close-ups on this, folks.
This is when he died, and this is what the Victoria Advocate.
Okay, if we could get some close-up. Hey, if we get some close-up. Now this is you with John Wayne, right? This is just before he died?
Right. No, this is right after he died, and it says
well, it
Quirrell
can't be
Man.
right after. This article came out after he died?
Yeah, Quirrell Man knew the Duke. He hunted on my grandfather's ranch, my grandfather's Thornton Hamilton, and he hunted on my grandfather's ranch for many years. I was 12 years old when I first met him. And my mother says, come down to the kitchen. I've got somebody I'd like for you to meet. And there was this man cleaning doves over the sink. I had no idea. I just come from a John Wayne movie. Went upstairs, cleaned up, came back down and says, I want you to meet Mr. John Wayne.
And you've
This is a certificate. This is a picture that I ran in the paper when he died.
Hold it up there.
Hold it up. Hold it up.
Well, I want to read it.
Yeah, go ahead.
In memorial, a tribute to the Duke by John Hamilton. The world has lost a legend. America has lost a patriot. Hollywood has lost a star. Youth has lost a hero, and I've lost a friend. John Duke Wayne, 1907-1979. Best wishes to Jeff and Mike. Thanks for having me on your show, your friend John H. This was John and I in the movie. This was my costume. And you'll be able to see it for the first time on the Jeff Davis Show. They have a clip of the Alamo.
Yes.
That's a first.
That's a
They didn't cut me out on the floor. How you like that?
Picture of the Duke again with you and the
I'd like to present. Okay.
Yeah, let's get another shot here of this. That's you and the Duke, right? That's you. That's you and the Duke right there.
That's 1963, and the movie was in 1959. This is when we went to San Antonio, and he was campaigning for the old Scotsman Gordon McClendon. You remember him? From Dallas, way back in '63.
John, can we put a plug in for Jesus? It wouldn't have been for him, you wouldn't have had it. Jesus.
Put a plug in for Jesus. Jesus, good job. Thanks for your
Oh,
help.
Jesus, yes.
Thanks for your job.
Hey, a
man.
million thanks, Jesus. Without you, no matter how many clips I brought, it wouldn't be on
That's
tonight
right.
because
He figured out our technical
his
delays.
generosity and my diplomacy. No, he's a nice guy, he really is. Thank you.
John, okay, are we ready with the clip?
Ready?
Okay,
All right, I
John,
want to present you with this.
how long? Okay, he's presenting me with
First
this.
part, you're going to talk over it, and then we're going to turn the sound up. And
He's presenting me with this.
I
Right.
want to put it in our
He's presenting me with this. Yeah, we get pictures
We got a
too.
picture camera.
We're gonna get some still photos of this.
Okay.
I appreciate that,
I've got
John.
a color I'll give you. It's better, a little production than
I
that.
appreciate that, though. I really do.
I believe if John was alive, that I never would have. They never would have been allowed to have stolen my Lost Creek homestead ranch yet, because they wouldn't want the publicity of the Duke coming down to the witness
Oh, you
stand.
think that he'd have done that for
Oh,
us?
absolutely, absolutely.
See it up here. You'll see it
That's interesting. Yeah, but we got a lot of forces down here, John, that might create some problems for these folks.
Talk over it when you see it up here.
Okay,
The
yeah, go
movie's
ahead.
coming. I'm really emotional about this because it's 37 years, and out of 5,000 of us, there's not many of us still alive. This is the scene where Travis asks us all to cross the line. Those are going to stay, and I ask Americans
Well,
today.
maybe we'll get to see it.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Here's Richard Widmark. Can I talk over this? Play the background music if you can. This is
We're going to play the back. We're going to play it. Here's the
okay. This is Richard Widmark. Lawrence Harvey. There's the music. Oh, it's incredible. All right, here is the black gentleman in the Alamo that was a famous opera singer in, I believe, out of New York that had a part in the Alamo. All these folks are dead. That's Big John Hamilton from San Antonio getting off the horse on the left. Not any relation to me, but a friend. They called him Big John, me Little John. All these people. There's John. Chill Will's on the right. Chill still owed me $5 from when we went to Old Mexico one night. And he said, hey, brother, can you loan me $5 for another drink? Bless his heart. Over on the right, I believe, is Denver Pyle. And, of course, John Wayne is in the middle. And I want to compliment, again, Jeff, for having this clip on your show. It's the first time ever that I've seen myself again on television, on live television. Can they hear the music? The music is incredibly emotional. They're going to look at each other here. By the way, I was a soldier in the Alamo and a messenger for General Sam Houston, who was played by Richard Boone. If you remember Richard Boone, he played General Sam Houston. All right. He's looking at each other. Here's Frankie Avalon, another good friend of mine, teenage idol in the 60s. Frankie's crossing. I stop right here. You don't want me saying my lines at the same time, do you?
You do whatever you want,
All right.
John.
I'm a sentry right there.
Hold up there, Bob.
All right, Ricky Ware's on the right. I'm to the left there.
Where you heading?
That's you.
Looking for General Sam Houston. Got a message for him.
Well, you come to the right place. Corps of the Guard, post number 3. What is it? He wants to see General Sam.
Come on, Bob.
then you can see my back side right there to the left again. I was 24 years old. I'm 61 now. He's going to General Sam's camp. That's Richard Boone with his back to us, General Sam. And Frankie, of course, was a big teenage idol. He was only 19 years old at that time. The gentleman coming out from the tent is Bill Daniel, Price Daniel's, I think, brother, from Liberty, Texas. And he's talking to Frankie right now.
Get yourself some free holy beans and a little sleep. No, sir. I've got to get back to the Alamo.
Frankie went back to the Alamo. There's Richard Boone playing General Sam Houston. So this was filmed at Utopia, Texas in 1959, about 40 miles away from the set of Brackettville. I spent 3 months out there. This had to do with land. The Alamo.
Okay, well there you were, boy.
Yeah.
Hey, you look a little bit older than you.
Or maybe it's the beard, no beard. Or it would be all gray. But Mike, producer, thank you, and Jeff again. And it brings back a lot of memories. And I miss those days of the 50s when they were kinder, gentler nation than we're facing right now. I never thought this would happen to me by my own countrymen, my own lawyers and judges and people that I trust. I was raised up in the 50s where you respect the law. You trust the judges. You trust the lawyers. I'm charging bankruptcy judge Richard Smith with an absolute felony crime that would put him in the federal penitentiary for years, and Randolph Wheelis Jr. of Houston, a bankruptcy judge that covered. And Smith had the audacity just a few weeks ago to put on a bankruptcy seminar here in Austin, Texas, on how to deal with debtors or something similar.
Let me just well, John, first off, I want to say that I do appreciate you coming on the Jeff Davis show.
Yes,
I don't know how far is Cuero,
85 miles, home of the world famous squirrel turkey trot races. Cuero is only 85 miles, an hour and a half drive, thanks to the generosity of Mr. Jimmy Johnson, a rancher who I hitchhiked up here with Jimmy, and Mr. Blake Walker of Cuero, who had to leave earlier, and he just left me. And these two gentlemen have experienced the same tragedies that my wife and I have. And I think, like you said, Alex,
when you was filming that movie,
White-collar crime. It's
Alex,
white-collar crime.
but you said it's been going on for 400 years. I say to you right now, there's going to be a closure to this, and there's going to be a finality to this.
It's going to take people getting involved like you are, sir.
Thank you.
so when you was filming that movie, The Alamo, you didn't, you were carefree and you didn't figure something like this could happen to you.
Oh, furthest thing from my mind, I was operating my grandfather's ranch at that time, and doing what most normal 24-year-olds do. And here, 37 years later, my property was stolen. I'm not a disgruntled debtor, as I told you earlier. I have had no charges filed against me, no fraud, no criminality. All the charges have been filed by me, John Hamilton, against the predators in the bankruptcy club in a white-collar enterprise operating there. And yes, sir, it's that, call it paranoid or call it whatever, but I wished I would have been paranoid 9 years ago. I wouldn't be sitting here today because I would have was naive and trusting at that time. They took my 1,000-acre homestead, Lost Creek Ranch homestead, and told me, my wife in tears said, let's stay. The homestead is protected in Texas. It's etched and granted. Your homestead is the strongest state in the nation. For homestead,
Homesteaders Act.
They just totally, how do they do it? By a crooked bankruptcy judge, Richard Smith. They just totally just ignore, and the bankruptcy codes, laws, rules, and statutes are good. They're designed to help someone reorganize, pay the legitimate debt off. I could pay off 100% and then go on about my life. But took them 9 years to get all my property. In addition to my cousin, Buzzy Hamilton, that took the Cuero Youth Reservation, we have Lawrence Kiesling, another cousin, Susan Wallace, and a Cuero lawyer, Jimmy Crane, who was my mother's lawyer, his law firm, all inside sweetheart buyers under the table under the cover of the Victoria Bank and Trust, now Norwest Bank and Citizens National Bank, and the bankruptcy court. And then Mr. Allen Hodge of Kerrville has some of my other property. They even took the Cuero Youth Reservation, 30 acres dedicated in perpetuity for the benefit of the youth of Cuero and the surrounding area. Like I said earlier, there's no Paul Harvey, the rest of the story. I'm going to stay right here and say there's no second side. It's like some murderer going out and killing a little innocent 8 or 9-year-old girl. How can you have a second side to that story? There is none. We are victims of the most heinous, premeditated crime imposed upon the American people, and it's the only crime that I know of that's being covered by the national news media in basically the press, the printed press. The television talk shows have been good and the radio talk shows, but the printed press is covering this. Think, who are the biggest advertisers, Jeff? The banks. So see, any kind of justice served in the John Hamilton case would be a condemnation of the Victoria Bank and Trust, Norwest Bank, and Citizens National Bank. They're the big high-dollar advertisers of the paper. Who else would be exposed? Crooked lawyers. They have a law firm on retainer for the paper, and they say, don't touch that case. It's a hot potato. So it's covered. It's a crime.
John, let me go ahead. We're fastly running out of time here. I wanted. Do you all have? Did you have any? First off, I want to invite you back. If it's somewhere down the road, we'll have you back on. Did you have any? Maybe. I mean, I think. Let's just get it. Let's just summarize here briefly.
Okay.
You're stating that just through a crooked, I guess a wicked syndicate of lawyers and bankers and whoever these people are.
In the bankruptcy club, as a lot of people call it, but not all of them are crooked.
Well,
There's some good ones, but the good ones are being silenced, and those that condone evil by your silence.
About $3 million worth of private farm,
ranch, and homestead property.
That's correct. Counting these gentlemen.
Yeah, counting the other Jimmy and Blake at about $4.5 million.
And I didn't lose it through squandering my assets or through mismanagement or error or judgment, and they didn't take it through mismanagement, error, judgment. It's a premeditated criminal enterprise. I didn't lose it by gambling. I didn't lose it by squandering. It's absolutely, they saw the opportunity, and the greed and lust for my property superseded the honesty and morality of it. Now, where are you lawyers out there calling in? Where are the lawyers?
That's how they caused the stock crash. Was they called in a bunch of short-term loans that they never called in. J.P. Morgan, a bunch of bankers got together, and that's how they do it. At the highest level to the lowest level, it's premeditated through the banks. If they want to target you or they want your land, they'll do it.
And they had inside buyers lined up for my property. Was so lucrative, and I was just a rancher.
And you're saying that
I wasn't a high-dollar playboy.
How many
or
people?
anything.
Do you have any estimates on how many people this has been done
63.
to?
No, I'm sorry. In my case, the ones that had their fingers in my cookie jar.
No,
63.
The number of John Hamiltons that are out there.
I would say.
Is it in the hundreds of thousands?
I would say several hundred thousands, and some of them with worse cases than mine. More land stole, more money stole. But a lot of farmers and ranchers that asked me to run for Congress, as you know, in 1994, and I got on the ballot as an independent against Kika de la Garza, 15th Congressional District. They asked me to use my candidacy as a forum to tell the people. I didn't have any staff, didn't have any money. All the money was stolen, but I did the best job I could. I ran for mayor this year here in Cuero. You've just got to have the tenacity and the courage to keep plugging away, because this is not going to last. We are at the and let me say something right quick.
Money laundering. And if you don't do something next, it's you.
Let me say something right quick. On the subject of why these solid middle-class American farmers and ranchers are doing these so-called radical movements, militia, Republic of Texas, free men, patriots, it's no secret.
It's not a secret.
But no one has developed that subject material. No one that I know of. It's because they're not getting justice in the courts. These people are not really anti-government. They're anti-crooks in government. They prostituted our government.
Crooks thrive in government.
The Tokyo Japanese from Tokyo filmed 15 hours Fuji television of me last month. They said, Mr. Hamilton, what do you think of the American dream? I said, the American dream, sir, has turned into the American nightmare.
We'll give anybody the forum that exposes evil in any.
This is Jeff Davis. Yeah, we're here
And
with
you're watching them right now.
Jeff Davis on the Jeff Davis Show, huh?
And ladies and gentlemen,
The
this
show's
is Jeff
so good,
Davis
you had to
for
name
the
it twice.
Jeff Davis Show.
Yes, sir.
It's a Dave Pruitt.
Jeff, how are you?
Bitty's son.
Yeah, old Betty.
And you know, you ain't got nothing like old Bitty's son.
That's
Or the Jeff Davis Show.
Or the Jeff
Or
Davis Show.
capsize for all time.
Capsize.
This show's going somewhere, folks.
Go
Right
into
down
Channel
the toilet.
10 every Saturday night at
It's
midnight.
Going, it's going. I mean, he even gets write-ups in what's that one rag that I don't read?
Yeah, it's in the fag rag.
That's it.
No, it's a twit. It's the
Twit.
Yeah,
That's
twit.
it.
It's a twit. Oh, God, don't you know anything?
Oh, I know.
Well,
Go
I don't
on.
read it.
Of course, you know, then you can see when I like